On Second Shot, we tackle 2 new headlines every week to find out what kind of wisdom the world is dishing out today. And we want you to be a part of that. When you see a headline you want to take a second shot at, or if you're looking for advice, or just want to tell us what you think of the show, email us at secondshotcast@gmail.com. If you like what you hear, rate us on iTunes. This helps us move up in the ratings so more people will see us. And if you want to hear more, subscribe to the show so that the new episodes will get straight to you every single Friday. We love you. Thanks for listening.
There's a lot of news in the world today.
News that might surprise you, startle you, upset, or maybe impress.
News that's not always for the faint of heart.
That's why the man who failed his way to success, Heath Oakes, is stepping up.
Tackling today's headlines with ignorance on fire in a way only a millennial mogul can.
Take off your sport coat, grab a beer, and enjoy the conversation.
This is Second Shot with your host, Heath Oakes.
It's absolutely amazing to think that this is our 52nd episode. Think about that. Zach, Kristen, Matt, 52nd.
52 weeks in a year.
Yeah, think about that. Like this was about a year ago we were sitting here to doing the first one together.
That is hard to believe.
Is that pretty cool? What?
It was you and some other bum. Who
yeah,
was
Chad Prother.
Yeah.
How do you say
Chad
it?
Pratham.
We love you.
Chad Pratham.
We love you. We love you, Chad. But it's crazy. We're here a year later, man.
1 year.
Yeah.
1 year of Second Shot. My gosh. Yeah.
Now,
yeah.
is y'all correct me if I'm wrong, but is Second Shot the most successful podcast in y'all's deal?
It is.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's for you.
I'm not
listeners.
ashamed to admit it.
You listeners, thank y'all.
It would not be possible without the fans.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. I mean, I
Yeah.
think we're close to right over 60,000 or so.
I think so.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Well,
Thank
and
y'all.
the commitment. I think recently we were doing, some kind of background research in the podcast department here, and I think they said the average podcast that gets started kind of quits after 7 episodes.
Yeah.
So to go through all 52, that takes dedication on your part, Heath.
Oh, and I had a baby, and
Yeah,
everything
you
else.
and me both.
Yeah, both of us.
Kristen had one too.
But it's funny because that's one thing I learned about in podcast research, and is all the podcasts that really shot off. It took 100 episodes.
Yeah.
So it goes back to what we've talked about: consistency,
Right.
discipline. Like there were a lot of times people like Lewis Howes' School of Greatness. He had over 100 episodes on before it actually took off, and he's one of the biggest. He has 1 million downloads per episode.
Yeah.
Hard work,
So,
dedication.
Long time, but he's on episode 500 and something now. So
Yeah, it's true.
he's going doing it. So congrats to y'all. Thank y'all.
Thank you. Keith, congrats to you.
Wow.
Shoot. Yeah, this is our. This is
So
what
on
we
my
do,
vision
man.
on my vision board
Yeah.
for this year, it says podcast subscribers 150,000. That's my goal for this year.
That's a lofty
There's
goal.
150,000.
goal.
So
I bet
that
we can
means
do
you
it.
need to share it with your friends.
You know what?
Seriously.
This lines up perfect with our first headline
It
on the moon
does.
thing. We're talking about the lofty goal and setting for it, right?
Yes. Our first headline of the 52nd episode of Second Shot. Don't miss the first super blue blood moon since 1866. In the early hours of January 31st, coming up, the moon will do something that hasn't since 1866. Supermoon, blue moon, and lunar eclipse will coincide for a rare and spectacular astronomical feast. Our faithful satellite will shine big, bright, and red. A supermoon, Heath.
And what does it say? Wait, go. What is that one part? It says it will coincide for a what? And spectacular what?
It will coincide for a rare and spectacular.
So barely ever
Astronomical
happens,
feast.
right?
Since 1866 it hasn't happened.
Yeah.
It's a long time.
It's a very long time.
It's almost as long as you've been on the air.
So super moons happen more frequently, but this is a super blue blood moon.
There's a lot going on in this title.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would never be able to say all that without
Super
screwing it up.
blue
Left and right.
blood moon. Yeah. The
It's a
moon
tongue
will be
twister.
very big and very pretty.
You
It'll
know
be
what?
awesome.
That question I hate the most
What's that?
is because it come from the world of sales and 100% commission, all that.
Mm-hmm.
So what can I realistically expect to make? What's the average person make? I hate that question.
That's what everybody wants to know. They want to understand the level of reward that their commitment requires.
There is nothing to understand. It's however much you want.
Right.
Why does it matter?
Why do you think
why
that's
be
the most
average?
common question?
Because nobody's ever sure enough that they want. So here's not people don't think big enough. Mm-hmm. Quick question.
Yeah.
This is gonna come off all three of your mouths real fast.
Okay.
Okay. Y'all just won the franchise lottery.
Okay.
Yeah.
You get any franchise you want given to you. One of them given to you, right? What do you choose? It's free,
Subway.
debt free. Subway.
McDonald's.
Matt.
Gosh, you took the ones that I was going to say.
Say one of them. It's fine. We'll use one of them. That's what you
I'll
want.
say the Cowboys. How about that?
Ooh.
Matt, you're the man. Let me explain something to you. My wife asked me that question, and I first said, immediately I was like, oh, NFL franchise. She's like, you would say that. You immediately went to the biggest damn franchise in the world. I go, well, you said I'll get it for free.
Yeah.
Why are you picking McDonald's when you pick NFL franchise?
Because I'm a small
Matt,
thinker.
you're the man. Yeah, but so everybody I asked,
I'll tell you,
nobody said anything.
I pick Subway
like that.
because they have the most stores per any fast food chain
You know,
in
Subway
America.
sandwiches are pretty
But
good.
why do you want that if you get one for free? Why do you want more competition?
No, because
No,
I
you get to
own
get-
the most.
Oh, no, you get to get one of them. Like,
Right.
you got to get one Subway store for free.
Oh, no, I thought you meant what
No,
franchise do
no,
I
no.
get to own? That's why I was
I-
like, I want the one that owns the most.
Oh, that, okay, you know what? You went big too then. I like that. Pound it, Kristen.
I'll be honest. I panicked and don't really know what the word franchise means. So
Yeah,
I just McDonald's, that one.
That's a
yeah,
good one, yeah.
that's fine.
But here's the thing is, it's going bigger. Like, that's where I'm challenging myself, and I want to challenge people around me is go bigger. Think that, give yourself permission to be rare. You don't give yourself permission to be rare. You question yourself, you second think yourself, you second guess it, you let other people, it's like I talked about in that speech, and I talked about, who's sitting at your table. Look at who's at your table and if they only bring in a fork. And it comes back to when people are telling you what you should or shouldn't do you want to be like them? And if you don't, then don't listen to them. Most of the time you let somebody in your ear that you don't want to be like, but yet you listen to their advice. Give yourself permission to be rare. It really is as simple as you saying, I look back at my vision boards. My first vision board had a twin piston plane. My second one had a small light jet. My third one has a Gulfstream on it. And I'm trying to get myself to think bigger, to think that I can be worth $1 billion one day. Like, I have that bandwidth to do, and I had not.
Do you feel like that vision board works for you?
Love it.
I wanted to go to a vision board workshop, and I wanted
You-
someone
see,
to come
look,
with me, and
no.
no one would come.
Again, do you know what you're doing right there?
What?
You know what a vision board is?
Yeah.
Cutting shit out of something, pasting it down that you want.
I know, but I
You
thought
ain't
it
gotta
would
go
be
to no
fun.
workshop.
I thought it would be fun to
Yeah.
go and do it with
Do some
crafts
wine?
and wine. And,
Yeah, that's not a bad idea.
No, but I get what you're getting at. It's like you couldn't find somebody to go, and that was like your
That
brain's
stopped
reason
you.
to not go.
Yeah, instead of
You
just
should've
sitting at home and making one.
Sat at home and made one. Yeah, no, I get where you're coming from.
Yeah.
I'm picking up what you're putting down.
Yeah.
But what I like about it is Jenny and I do them every New Year's, and we got them hanging in our laundry room. So
Uh-huh.
we pass by them all the time, and there'll be a lot of times you just walk by and look at it, and that visualization means a lot. It really does. And I
I
just
like that you do it as like a couple's craft activity. My husband would never do that.
Not a
with
vision
me.
board guy, huh?
Never.
All right.
well, you know what really it does is we talk about what each other are wanting to do.
Yeah.
Like what our dreams are going to be that year and go and it's helpful to know what to help encourage
Yeah.
with your spouse and not
Yeah.
instead of so it's kind of a fun way to do it,
Yeah,
more
yeah,
so. But I look at it all and there's too many people that want to know what the bar is before setting their limit. So like when people go, well, what's the average person make? Are you average? Well, no, I think I'm above average. And why does it matter what the average person makes? Do you want to know what the top person makes? Mm-hmm. Like, who do you want to be?
Yeah.
Like, that's my thing is why wait for somebody to give you a bar in order to then figure out what you can do? Mm-hmm. What if the world's crazy? Pick what you want.
Yeah.
Like, that's my thing is don't let somebody set your bar
Yeah.
and then get the parameters right and get it. Give yourself permission to be rare.
Do you think they do it out of fear though? Because they're like, well, if the average person is making 70 and I'm only making 50, then I'm doing a bad job. So it's a gauge for them as well.
Well, it can be, but that's what I'm saying is let yourself be the gauge for yourself. If 50 grand is what you want and is great for you, you need to be happy with that, and you will be. But if you know that everybody else is at 80, then all of a sudden you're unhappy. When you were grateful at what so it works both ways. I'm not saying just because you want to make a ton, but like set your own happiness. Let yourself be rare within. Like, don't have the insecurities around what everybody else is thinking, doing. Give yourself permission to be rare. You're not letting yourself be something special because you're thinking everything's got to be put together or it doesn't happen often. Who says I'm going to be the lucky one to get? You're not going to unless you start giving yourself permission to be rare. And that it starts with, it really does start with something as simple as honest to God believing, you know what? I can be rare.
Yeah.
I can be that. You know? Like Zach, you could be the Howard Stern in radio in 20 years. Like they think about you the same way as Howard Stern's a god in radio, right?
Sure,
Like
why not?
you give yourself permission to be that rare.
Yeah.
Why not? Why not you?
I
It's gonna
have
be
a
somebody.
counterpoint to this, but we don't have enough time to talk about it, and I want you to explain why I'm wrong. So maybe in the third segment we
So
can get to
remember
it.
that, and we're
Yeah,
gonna do
we'll
the
come
third
back to
segment.
this.
All right,
Yeah.
perfect.
This will be good.
Perfect. So coming back in a minute for the second segment of Second Shot.
He's a suit and tie kind of guy with deep Southern roots. Heath Oaks hosts more of Second Shot coming up on RNCN.
Hear ye, great news for all of you guys. Colonial Life is hiring some salespeople from all over the country. No matter where you are in the United States of America, if you're looking for a sales career, if you want to just learn more about what Colonial Life does, send an email to mbeltran@coloniallife.com, mbeltran@coloniallife.com. We'll get you set up with the right people you need to talk to and see if you're going to win that job. If you're in the Metroplex area, great. If you're in St. Louis, great. We're going to have office there for you. mbeltran@coloniallife.com and change your career today.
Ready? Aim. Fire. Second Shot is back for another round on RNCN.
So since we were talking trash about you the other week, I wonder if the listeners can tell a difference in your voice.
Yeah. Probably not. I think it's subtle, but when it happened, my husband, that first day when I got home, he was like, "Who are you?" He was like giving me like the worst looks, and
so
he's like,
it got him really good.
well, he said it sounds like sexier. He's like,
Oh.
it's deeper, it's raspier.
Oh.
But he
Well,
just
look,
kept
that's
giving,
what matters. Hey, as long as it's sexier to the husband, that's all that matters,
yeah,
right?
he just kept giving me weird looks though, because he's like, every time I would open my mouth, he's like, "Who is that?" Because he hears my voice most frequently out of anybody.
If
so.
you think Kristen's voice is sexier, email us at secondshotcast@gmail.com.
Well, remember, I told y'all that when we first started recording that it
Yeah.
wasn't too long after I had one of my friends text me and go, "Is Kristen hot?"
Right.
Because like she sounds hot.
What's the score? Yeah.
Yeah.
There's something about...
Does
Yeah.
it correlate to how you look and the way your voice
It
sounds?
wouldn't be Second Shot without Kristen Mayer.
Yeah, and I said she's 7 months pregnant right now. I
Yeah,
said, so it's
exactly.
very like it's kind of one of those
Subjective.
that I can't be like, I don't know. There's just it's like a. I don't know. It's like you can't say the pregnant woman's almost hot
Right.
because it's like a disrespectful.
Yeah.
She's
almost.
glowing. She's
It's like
glowing.
it's because it's disrespect. I don't know.
You're
It
a
just
good
feel
guy,
like there's
Heath
something
Oaks.
about you. You just, I don't know. I'm weird.
You're like, here's a picture. We think what you want.
We'll
Yeah.
let it slide.
Yeah.
We'll let it slide.
All right.
This next one I liked personally. This is
Yes, pilot lands plane on Costa Mesa Freeway. Quote, "I saw an opening on the highway and I went for it." I love this. This was out in California. This is a pilot who's piloting a small plane. He made an emergency landing on the 55 freeway in Costa Mesa on Sunday evening after its engine failed and powerful winds prevented the pilot from getting to the nearest airport. Heath, you found this headline. What do you got out of this?
well, being a pilot. This is like one of your worst nightmares.
Yeah.
Well, as a pilot, this is one of your worst nightmares and the most thrilling, because it's the macho thing that if it goes out, like I want to
save the day.
Like that guy's going to be bragging to all of his pilot friends forever that engine went out and look what I did. I landed without a flaw. He landed in that highway. It never even and he even got it pulled off to the exit ramp for people. It's so perfect.
He's in the shoulder.
Yeah, like literally on the shoulder and did not hit anything, no collisions whatsoever, the
You
whole
get-
9 yards.
You get that Sully kind of respect.
Yeah, you do. Absolutely. So, which is also what kills a lot of pilots is the macho-ness because they go for things that they shouldn't to think they're really good, right? But this guy actually, he wasn't trying to be macho. It was smart. I mean, the engine went out and the headwinds were on, so he called for emergency landing. He did everything perfect, and they were going to go try to make to the airport. And he did a quick calculation in his head thinking, the headwinds are so strong because he was prepared. He knew what the headwinds were that he goes, I don't think I'll make it to the runway. And he looked down and saw on the freeway there was a big opening. He said, I'm going for it, and didn't do anything else and just went and landed on the freeway.
I love it.
Perfectly.
Yeah.
And with, as a pilot, this is one of the biggest things. If you ever have a pilot that, if you have a attitude or a deal about yourself where under pressure you don't do well, don't try to be a pilot. Okay.
If you panic under
Because
pressure, it's
every
not for
second
you.
is pivotal, right? Like he had no time to reflect on his decision.
Right.
It was, I'm going for it, or
Well, you know what? But actually, it's almost the opposite. That's where people panic is when they think, I ain't get on time. You really do. Stop for a minute. Know your checklist. That's in piloting when you're a pilot, right? When they first come out one of the new planes and it took off back in the 60s or 70s, big Boeing deal, and and then it was one of the most experienced pilots, and it crashed. And this is when they started coming, and they found out he just forgot to take the most simple thing is he didn't let trim down, which is crazy because that's simple. That's when they started coming out with the checklist.
Right.
Because as a pilot, you have a basic checklist. Step 1, check fuel. Step 2, check fuse. Like, it's the most
Oh, yeah. It's very
redundant, like
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
But you have to do it every time because you will forget simple little things as you get in routine. So part of it as a pilot is realizing when it does happen, you do have time because you may not have time to make it to that airport, but you have time to find something else. Take your time because the first thing is trying to restart the engine. I mean, honestly, sometimes you can just restart the engine.
Yeah.
And some people freak out and just go, I got to get it down because I don't have time. But you're 7,000 feet in the air. And you're in a small plane, it glides for a long time. You got a lot of time.
Man, I'd be a terrible pilot.
Try the things. So what I like is how calm under pressure. Like, how many times do we get worried? Like, things are piling on top of us and we let anxiety get the best of us, right?
I'm spinning too many plates.
Yes.
Yeah.
And what happens is you let that funk go out through the rest of your life. It goes home with you. It's at work with you because you're anticipating, like with me right now, I've got all these projects that are like about to start.
Yeah.
And I was catching myself about to start getting anxiety about it. And then like I finally made myself get back to my meditation this week to where I'm getting up and I got my Headspace app back going and doing the restlessness, about a 10-day restlessness one because I know I'm getting restless with all of it. And I'm trying to combat that before it gets bad. So,
Yeah.
but it's part of understanding that and knowing it and calming yourself down. So, we do that all the time. We get anxiety and we let it overcome us and everything spins out of control.
It only gets worse.
It only gets worse.
Right.
And if you're going to be a pilot, you better not let that happen. You know what I mean?
It can only get so worse. You know what I mean? Yeah.
I mean, you it's like taking a second to just calm down and think about what you know. Think about your checklist. Think about your things. Letting the things come off of you and going, look, one step at a time. At the end of the day, if these 3 people are waiting and you're stressing out going, I got to get them all in, but I got this to do, the world's not coming to an end.
So it sounds like you've kind of put together your own sort of checklist
Yep.
because you've thought about it and you're like, okay, I know I need to do my meditation today because this is happening and I need to go to bed at this time. So like, what are those things for you?
Well, I don't really have. Here's what I have is that my daily routine is what I had. So then when I had my daughter last year, it's not an excuse.
Yeah.
It's what happened.
But it was the
is I
structure.
failed.
Yeah.
Because I let me having a daughter throw me off of some of the simple things. So I used to get up every morning and do my meditation. That used to that 15, 20 minutes of clarity, of quietness helps you just realize what you got to accomplish and whatnot. And then I don't like when I check emails and if I'm kind of in a hurry, I'll check through them and stuff I need to really pay attention to. I red flag them, save them, and I go through the other stuff because I can clear out 90% of it that I don't even got to respond to. But you'll have like 100 emails there, and it, you have anxiety.
Yeah.
When if you just go attack them real quick, half of the crap you don't have to respond to. The ones you do, just mark it, and then come back to it later when you got time. And then you only really have 5 things, and it
I do
lessens,
the same thing for my
it
email.
lessens your anxiety in a big way. But one of the things that helped me is when I started doing the meditation. I know meditation is a weird, like it's got a weird feel around it, but honestly, it's just purely sitting in quiet time to just think simply about what you do. And there's a Headspace app that I guarantee you, everybody, if you would download the Headspace app and do it a little bit every morning, it's just being quiet with yourself. It makes a massive difference. That helped me in a big way, and I got off of that routine this last year, and I have finally gotten back to it. And as I was feeling all this anxiety piling on me with what's going, all these things about to go, I was like, I got to do it. I got to finally make myself do it because I've been slacking and started doing it. And man, I just feel so much better.
And what is the name of that? Headspace?
Headspace.
I gotta check
Headspace,
that
I've
out.
heard of it before, yeah.
I haven't heard of it.
Yep. Headspace is great. They'll do a couple deals and they walk you through all of it. It's an app on your phone.
Yeah.
And again, it's not weird. I know a lot of people are like, that meditation.
Well,
stuff."
It's just the
Yeah.
word.
all
yeah.
it is setting quiet within yourself and just letting yourself think and be with yourself. It's really nothing. I get out of my bed. I sit in front of my bed in the morning and put a pillow up against the back of the bed and sit comfortable, and I turn it on and do it before anything gets going in the
For
day.
like 5 minutes, right?
With 10 minutes, or you can go all the way up 30 minutes, but I do 10 minutes.
10's plenty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Headspace, try to get in with yourself, and then work on that to help yourself stay calm under pressure. Being calm under pressure will help you in a lot of ways, not just business life, but in your personal life, if things are getting heated at home, being calm in that minute and stepping back and taking a second to kind of go through a mental checklist of stay calm, be calm, let's not escalate this, can make a massive difference. So all in all, just staying calm under pressure is huge. So we'll be back here in a minute for another segment of Second Shot.
Now that's what I call ignorance on fire. More of Second Shot with Heath Oaks still to come.
You guys have been listening to Second Shot and hearing us talk about it. You need to go pick up my book, Ignorance on Fire, A Journey of Failing Your Way to Success. You can get it on Amazon in a paper book. You can also hear this beautiful voice of mine in audiobook style on Audible or anywhere you're going to get your audiobooks. Guys, this book took a lot of time to put into it, and I believe it can really be some life-changing stuff to help you on your path to success. And hopefully you're going to fail your way to success just like I did. Ignorance on Fire, A Journey of Failing Your Way to Success. Amazon.com, Audible.com, audiobooks, paper books, everything. Get it, share it with your people, and I appreciate it. Thank you, guys. Go pick it up today.
Kick off your boots or suit up. The choice is yours. Welcome back to Second Shot on RNCN.
All right, we're going to be back here at the third segment. We got a listener email that we want to kind of bring up today.
Yeah, an old fan favorite. She's been around for a while.
She has been. She's emailed in before, and it says, "Hey guys, just want to say how much I love the show so much, especially the third segment talking about investments and how it works and how to get started. She said, unfortunately, didn't do a thing in her 20s, now learning in her 30s. I'll probably listen multiple times and make notes because it was helpful. Can't hardly wait for the next episode from the next podcast to gain knowledge and sincerely love listening. Keep up the fantastic work from Deidre." Thank you, Deidre. And Deidre, here's the thing is if you're digging in your investment stuff, be willing, always feel free to shoot us an email with if you're looking at something and just want to see if you want our advice on anything, then love to give you any advice and whatnot. I mean, obviously, I'm not a financial planner, but if it's with some of that, if I can't help you, then I'll for sure say that ain't my expertise. But if it is, then I can maybe just help guide you in the right direction from somebody who's not going to, trying to make any money on you, just to help you in general,
Thanks for the email, Deidre. So here's what I wanted to get to from our first segment. In segment one, we were talking about letting yourself be rare, let yourself be special, let yourself be somebody different. And here's what I'm going to do, Heath. I'm going to kind of pitch you this ball, and I'm hoping you can hit it back. So let's just see how it goes. What about this mentality? I think everybody's the hero of their own story. I think everybody has this idea in their head that you are the star of your own movie, that everything will work out for you someday. Truman Show.
Yeah.
That right now you're not doing so hot, but you're destined for greatness. One day it'll happen. Everybody gets this kind of worked in their heads sometimes, I think. And when you say something like let yourself be rare, I think that might tell people to dig into that a little bit. Just believe that for a minute. Do you think there's any benefit in maybe stepping back and saying, maybe I'm not that special? Maybe I'm just normal and I have to work harder to become that. It's not just going to happen one day. I have to be that person that I want to be, and I'll get it. I can't just sit back and let life come at me. I have to go at life. What do you think?
So help me understand. I don't think I'm understanding what you're asking fully.
Yeah.
Are you saying that are you asking a question as if some people are just meant not to be and it's okay with that? Or rephrase that again.
Kind of, yeah. The question is, you said let yourself be rare. Let yourself be special.
Yes.
What if I'm not special?
Okay.
What if I'm just normal? What if I'm just some normal average Joe?
Well, and then it would go to this: is do you here's the problem. There's no problem with being normal.
Yeah.
At all. The problem is that when you want to be something beyond normal, but you think you're normal. So here's what
don't settle for mediocrity.
Well, if you don't want to be, it's okay. Well, here's the thing is, if you want to be normal,
if it
that's
doesn't
okay.
make you happy.
If that makes you happy and fulfills you,
right.
That's what I want. That's being rare. You know what? That's being rare because you know you're normal and you want to be normal and you own it.
Gotcha.
Okay? But you're grateful for being normal, so you're a fulfilled life. Mm-hmm. The difference is that when you're normal, but yet you don't want to be normal, but then you don't want to do anything to make yourself believe you can be rare. So then you're living in this is dichotomy a word?
Yeah.
Dichotomy.
That's a word.
See, look, I
got words.
Yeah.
I can do words.
Is whenever you're in a spot that you don't want to be in, but yet you don't believe you're worth it.
I think I have
you
a
don't
good
believe
example.
you're worthy
Yeah.
to be there, but yet you're ungrateful with it. So I say if you're normal
Mm-hmm.
and you're okay with being normal, then you're rare because you're owning it and you're fulfilled and you're happy, and that's great. You're
And that
rare
is
in your
rare.
own
Yeah,
word.
yeah, that's
okay,
true.
so
I think I've got a good
Yeah.
example to kind of lay this out.
Sure.
So there was this kid, and we always talk about like going to college. You know, like it's great to go to college and get a degree. Well, this kid was like, I don't want to go to college because I want to be a park ranger, and it's like, yeah, maybe some people should go be park rangers. There's not a lot of people applying to be park rangers, and sometimes you need like, you know, and that's like, I'm not, you know, going for the highest goal. I don't need a 4-year degree. I just want to be a great park ranger. You're not settling for mediocrity. You have your own path, and maybe that's more of a normal path, but you're rare in the fact that, you know, you're a park ranger instead of like someone with a business degree.
Well,
And you're happy
right?
doing it.
Yeah, and
but again, that's not mediocrity to me, because here's the
Yeah.
things. Look, here's what average is.
Mm-hmm.
When what you're doing, you're not fulfilled, but yet you're doing nothing to get better than it. Whatever that is.
Right.
That's average. Average person hates what they do and is doing nothing to get better at it. Whether it is janitor, whether it is multi-billionaire. Average is doing nothing to be happier, to be more fulfilled. That's the average person. So if it's park ranger, that's your goal and your achievement. You're living it. You're above. You're rare, because you know what you did is you didn't just settle for doing what the world wanted you to do, thinking what success. You fulfilled you. Okay. So my thing is if you were somebody in a situation where you're not fulfilled, you're not feeling that extra, but you're doing nothing to get it better, that's you're below average.
Right.
I don't care what your job is. So it's personal fulfillment.
Yeah, I gotcha.
Does that make sense?
It absolutely makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you for clarifying this for me. I
Be-
can't believe I didn't get it the first time.
Well, being rare is finding joy and gratefulness in things that you do, and that's what people don't understand. And I had that problem. I've always struggled with, because I wanted, like, my priorities changed, and I've evolved in that, and I'm grateful that I evolved in that. And I get ungrateful at times trying to go for wanting more, and I'll start wanting more so much that I become unappreciative for the things I have. And so it's a constant battle I have to wage with myself. Doing this podcast and having the people I've got sitting at my table is what helps keep me grounded in those. You know, I've got a wife that helps keep me grounded in that. I've got good people around me that keep me around that. And that's what you've got to do is there's nothing wrong with being you. You just have to love you. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
like you don't give, a lot of times people don't give themselves permission to be them.
yeah.
You know, like give your, you know, and the way you start having more confidence is when you keep your own words to yourself.
Yeah.
Keep your promise to yourself. Keep your promise. If you say you're going to, you know, if you say you're going to go to the networking events, go to them.
Go.
Keep your own promises.
Yeah.
And Zach actually came. I made him promise on air
I
to
did.
come, because I got to speak at the DJCC this past week, and that was fun. It was a good group. I mean, it was a pretty good
It
sized
was a good
group.
time, which, by the way, for anybody, I'm sure any listeners would, but if you ever get the chance to see Heath Oaks speak, you should absolutely go. Kristen,
Oh,
it's a
thank
shame
you,
you
Zach.
weren't there. Yeah, same with Matt. Yeah,
What,
it was a
what
good
was
time.
that? What you expect? Like, cause see, you're somebody for a year now,
Yeah.
who has sat with me in, at least, you know what, 30 hours or so,
Yeah.
just talking.
be, yeah.
So like, if there's anybody not gonna go, like you've heard it all almost, that was it different or what did
It was
like,
different.
List to
yeah,
speak?
it was not. It was. Yeah, I was.
I
Frankly,
imagine
was
it
a
would be
little
different,
I was
yeah.
expecting like, okay, these are going to be things I've heard on Second Shot before. No, it was
really?
genuinely. I mean, it's in a similar vein. It's got the same kind of heart and spirit you bring to this show, but it was a different message. It wasn't just like, oh, that happened on episode 36, and I remember
Yeah.
that from episode 48. No, like it was genuinely different stuff. We should probably tackle those on this show. At some
Yeah,
point.
probably should actually. Yeah. I never thought about it. I don't know if I didn't know why I wouldn't think about bringing them into this.
What was
but
the title of your speech again?
it's just basically just changing some mind. Like, well, I just thought it was 4 things that I thought were crucial for
Yeah.
my evolving,
4
me changing over 10 years.
4 battles Heath faced from 20 to 30. Yeah,
Okay.
4 things you overcame to be who you are
And
today.
it took 10 years for those 4, you know?
Right.
You know, the funny thing is what did you think about my, when I kicked it off? I thought it was kind of, Jenny helped me with this one, but I had a book, and I said, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give away a book to somebody. And what I'm going to do is, I'm known, I make up words. When I don't know words, I make them up. So I'll say stuff that really don't make, that like, it's not a word, but I say it, and you know what it means.
Yeah.
So what I'm going to do is at the end of the speech, whoever, if you hear me make up a word or say something that's not the right word or something, write it down, and then whoever gets them gets free books. So, like, it kind of just lets you, that way, when you own that, then they don't think, then whenever I make up a word, they're like, this dude's stupid.
Yeah.
They don't say that then, because then I've already owned it.
And then
you can't make fun of me if I own it.
Yeah, and maybe you've got more attentive listeners also, because they're listening for those words.
Yeah.
You know what was a bummer? Like 31 hours I've got on record, like hanging out, sitting with you, talking, learning from you. And there were people in that room who beat me. I was taking notes. I was like taking down, okay, here's a word he said wrong.
Yeah.
Oh, Waller knew that was
Waller.
Yeah.
Waller. I was waiting for that one.
People totally had me beat. I couldn't believe
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
I thought that was that was like my wife's idea. I could
That's
give
fun.
her the
Yeah.
credit.
It's a
good one,
But I
yeah.
thought it was kind of a cool way to do it, because I've always got on that, because I will just make up stuff.
It was a solid entry. Got people involved, people listening. Yeah.
Yeah.
I loved it. I thought it was a good time, and I love you guys. This is awesome. This is our 52nd. This is crazy. Like I mean,
know.
a year into it, and we've got some really good listeners. And we got to get creative with some cool stuff coming up. I was trying to think of doing something pretty soon.
Yeah.
And all the listeners pay attention. Coming up to doing a contest still with our listeners, to where we invite one or two to come be on the show and do episodes
Really?
with
That'd
us.
be
Yeah.
awesome.
That'd be really cool.
Get them to come in and do an episode with
that'd
us.
be a lot of fun.
If they and if they don't want to travel in, then we can kind of mic them in or something
We
like.
could do like
Get on the phone or
advice in
something?
practice.
Yeah, wouldn't that be kind of cool?
Yeah.
That'd be really cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
that'd be a lot
Wrap
of
it
fun.
around
Solve a problem
how
on
many
the
people
spot.
are
Yeah.
sharing the episodes and stuff, maybe.
Yeah, they're gonna get here and be like,
Yeah.
"Oh wow, this is it. This is the show."
Yeah. Well, we're moving to the
Hey,
new
we're
studio.
moving
We are
to the new
moving.
studio.
We are moving and shaking. Yeah, the next
Yeah.
time you hear an episode of Second Shot, we'll be in a new place.
Yeah, we will.
So appreciate you guys coming on. Appreciate you guys sticking with you. Appreciate all you listeners for listening to me for a year. Probably the first half kept you in with Chad, because he's got much refined voice. But you've stuck around. Since he's been gone, we've continued to rise. So, and we're gonna have Chad come on for another
should.
episode or two soon. We
We
will.
should have him, man, for a big one, like 75 or
Yeah,
100 or something.
yeah,
Yeah,
something
absolutely.
like that. Yeah. So thank you guys. I love y'all, and I appreciate everything that y'all have done. I appreciate all of the listeners. I appreciate all of it. It's been a fun ride.
And it's not over.
It's not over, but it's been like the first year. It's just cool.
Yeah.
So
I know.
maybe we'll get some Second Shot merchandise and stuff.
There you go.
Yeah.
I would totally rock a Second Shot
Yeah.
tee.
I
I
think so,
will
too.
wear
I want
that.
a hat.
All right,
Yeah,
yeah.
that'd be
A
cool.
hat. I dig it.
Yeah. All right.
Shoot.
Well, Ed Heath Oaks or Ed Ignorance on Fire, secondshotcast@gmail.com. Leave a rating, review, share this. Look, if you listen to the episode, press the little 3 dots next to it, share episode on Facebook. It's pretty simple, okay?
Rate it. Review it.
Yes.
Tell us what you think.
I love y'all. See y'all next time.
You're listening to RNCN, the digital destination for premium talk radio.